What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you are a first timer, then welcome to the channel. I'm glad you guys are here. This channel and what we teach, what we show you guys, not just on this watch list that we're going to do for today, but this channel in general is going to make you a more profitable, more consistent trader. I promise you that. You put in the time, you put in the work, you will become more profitable. You will learn how to manage risk. You will learn when to get into trades, when to get out of trades, and that risk management really is the number one thing in any trader's tool belt. Okay, how fast you cut your losses. Those are what the really good traders are great at, and what makes them great. So this is our watch list for Monday, November 14th. It is the 1 week swing list. Okay, so these are the plays that you can play over a week or two. I play options on these. When I take them, I get 2 weeks out of my expiry. So it won't be this Friday, it will be the following Friday. You can take longer than that. I like the 2 week period. And that's how we do the swings. We're going to go through this watch list in a few seconds here, in a quick minute. I want to go through a few things. The screen that you guys see in front of you, that is TradingView. That's how I chart everything that I do. It's how I do these videos for you guys. If you were looking for something like TradingView where you can put your lines on your charts and add the Griswold Strat indicator, or any indicator really that you're looking for, this is a great way to do it. So if you're looking for something like this, I can give you guys a free 30-day trial. Go into the description down below. There's a link for TradingView. You click on that link, you will get a free 30-day trial to their subscription-based services. They do have free options, but you get a trial of 30 days for free on their sub-services. So go check that out. And then if you decide to use their sub-service, you get up to $30 off of that subscription. So make sure you're going down below, clicking that link, and getting your free trial or your free subscription trial on TradingView. If you're on Twitter, you can find me there at Mr. Clark Griswold. Feel free to DM me any question you have. You can do the same thing in the comment section below. Actually, I appreciate the comments down below, whether you're winning or losing, or whether you like the videos or you don't like the videos. Please leave your comments down below. It helps with the algorithms. It helps to get this stuff out to as many people as we can. And make sure you give me a thumbs up on the video as well. Now, the other place you can do this, guys, is in the Discord. I have a trading Discord. That link is in the description as well. And everything that I offer to you guys for free or fee-based can be found in that Discord. So the 95% of it is free. There is a portion of it where we have the Griswold Gold memberships. And Lance and Jesse just signed up. So thank you guys for getting into that room. There's a bunch of great stuff in there. Make sure you guys book your one-on-ones with me, because that is part of it. You get one-on-ones with myself to ask any questions you need help with, personal one-on-one stuff. Okay, so that's part of the Griswold Gold membership. There's also a live trading bot for the Griswold Gold members. I give top 5 plays out every single day for the Griswold Gold members, and there's a whole bunch of really, really good stuff in there for you guys. It's $50 a month. There is a buy 2 get 1 free in there as well, but realistically, some of the numbers that I get from the members, some of the gains that they get, you're going to gain that back in one trade. Okay, so make sure you check that out as well. Let's get to this watch list. One other thing I want to say is the ads that roll through, guys. I'm going to thank you in advance and say I appreciate you in advance for letting those ads roll through. Those ads pay for my time to put these videos out for you guys every single day, and it also pays for your guys' education on this stuff, okay? So the advertisers pay me to put this stuff out. They also are paying for your free education on this stuff. So thank you guys very much for letting those ads roll through. And now let's get to our watch list. So the weekly swings for the week of November 14th. Again, you can get 2 weeks out on these expiries. And when you're looking at options, if you are looking at options, I'll go through that with you in a second. So Apple has an inside bar. You notice the one bar here is an inside bar. It's a consolidating range. It's a tightening range. It doesn't break the high or the low of the previous candle. And if I were to draw 2 lines like so, you can see how we get into a tightening range. We're getting tighter and tighter. Okay? So when we have that, we have consolidation. And the Griswold Strat indicator that I created for TradingView gives you these yellow inside bars. It also gives you these 3 bars, the outside bars. It paints them white for you. You also get the time frame continuity, the candlestick numbers, this gold highlight for this setup, and a whole bunch of other really great things. But the point I'm trying to make here is with this yellow bar, when you see this yellow bar, I want you guys to think of a spring being loaded and compacted. And I watched Elf with one of my kids today, and they had the Jack in the Box on there. The da 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 da. So think of that as a yellow box. When that thing pops open, it explodes up. Now, if it was turned upside down, it would explode down. So that's what we're looking for off these inside bars. We're looking for an explosion to the upside or the downside. And we can go back in history and look at the previous inside bars where we trigger to the downside off of here and we break all the way down. A really, really good weekly swing play. This one here is another example. It wasn't as great, but we moved up. And I like going back in time to show you guys this stuff because I don't want you guys to think that these always work out. Here's another one. Didn't really play out for us. I mean, we had a small bump down there, but we didn't hit the target. Okay? But we can go to this inside bar here, and sure enough, this is a 3-1 setup, but this inside bar here broke up to the high side. Now, the reason I like to go back and show you guys that, yes, they work sometimes they don't work, but probabilities tell us that we should have an explosion to the upside or the downside on this inside bar. Okay, so when we have probability, every trade we take, guys, every trade, every strategy, it has to be based off of probability. It has to. And the reason is because nobody knows what this next candlestick is going to do. Is it going to go up and then come back through? Is it going to just barely come up and come back through? Is it going to stay inside bar? Or is it going to have a huge run up or a huge run down? We don't know. Nobody knows. Okay, and that's the probability of this all. And we play the probability of inside bars telling us that if we break this trigger, we are going to hit this target. Okay, if we break this trigger, we are going to hit the next target, whether it's, this target or we go to the next one back, here or here. That's what the candlesticks tell us. And that's what probability tells us when we go back in time and look at past inside bars. We get really good breaks to the upside or downside. And like I said, it's all probability based, but we play the high probability plays. Okay? That's what we do. And then when you have probability, you also have risk. So the risk part is really one of the most important parts, because if this trade drops and breaks back against you, you need to be able to cut that trade regardless of how you're feeling, that maybe it goes back. Maybe I get my gains back. Okay? You have to cut that trade regardless of how you feel, because your feelings will overtake you in a trade. Your emotions overtake what your mind is telling you and what you're supposed to be doing based off of this strategy. Okay? Or any strategy. Your mind will overtake that and control it. And the best traders have the best risk management. Okay? So inside bars tell us that we should have big breaks to the high side or the low side. That's what probabilities tell us. So we can look for calls off of this pink line at $150.01, puts at $134.59. Let's say this goes to the upside. So we would take a call here once it triggers 150.01, and our strike price would probably be, we're looking at probably 152, 153 is what I would be taking as a strike price. Okay, and normally I like to have the spread between the bid and the ask fairly tight. If it's wider on these guys, it's okay. Then we can jump into a limit order because we have time. Once this triggers, we have some time before we hit targets. This isn't going to hit targets in a matter of, well, it might, in a matter of 10, 15, 20 minutes, 5 minutes. It might, but it's more likely going to happen over the course of days. So we can try and get a limit order filled on the swing plays. On the day trades, I like them to be a little bit quicker. I play market orders. Okay, so like I said, calls at 150.01, puts at 134.59. I'm going to move through a little quicker here now that I spent so much time on that inside bar and everything else. Okay, so another inside bar in Airbnb. I don't have to go through this with you guys. because you already know. We've got calls at 109.77 or puts at 93.28. Now, when we open up on Monday, this time frame continuity is going to be, could be the same, it could be different. The daily is going to be different. The weekly is going to be different. The monthly, that candle's already in play. The week, the day, and the hour when it opens on Monday, these are all new candles opening up. So a lot of times Rob Smith, who created the strat, will say let them open up, and that's okay. Okay, so me looking at this, it could go either way, and you'd be okay either way, because if we trend to the upside, we've got the hourly, the daily, the weekly, and the quarterly all to the upside. If we trend down, we've got everything except the quarterly to the upside, okay? So that's how we would play Airbnb. Amazon, we had a 2 down that finished green, okay? And we're at the bottom of this broadening formation here. So we can look for a trend back to the top side. We can look for calls at 101.19. And again, this time frame continuity may change, and we may continue to trend down on Amazon. I mean, just because it's a 2 down and finishes green doesn't mean that we're going to trend back to the upside. We very well still could trend back to the downside, okay? So, like I said, we can look for calls at 101.19. CRM is up next. So CRM, we have another inside bar. Okay, so you guys already know about the inside bars. So we won't go through those again. And we can, again, look for calls at 159.92, puts at 138.77. And again, we have to wait for this to open. And I love when we have inside bars, especially for people who are struggling or people who are new, because the inside bars, guys, are the easiest to play. If we trend up, we've got the hourly, the daily, the weekly, and the quarterly. Okay, that's more than the majority of what we need for this to trend to the upside. If it trends down, well, again, we've got everything now except for the quarterly. Sorry, I did that wrong. If we trend up, we've got everything except for the monthly and the yearly. Okay, if we trend down, we've got everything trending down except for the quarterly. So I'm okay with inside bars either way, but I need the majority of the time frames in one direction in order for that trade to play out. So that's how we can look at CRM. Calls at 159.92, puts at 138.77. We'll go on to Cisco. Cisco, again, with this inside bar. And again, this might be, we'll show you guys again, it's a tightening range. It's a consolidating range. And we have, this is what we have. So we have this, this inverse broadening formation, if you want to call it that. And we're looking to break out past through that broadening formation, okay? Because we're in a tightening range, we're consolidating, and we're looking for a price to break out of that little triangle. Okay, so calls at 45.81, puts at 43.89 off of that. If we trend to the downside, we've got everything except for the quarterly in our favor. Okay, we'll move on to DraftKings, DKNG, 2 down green. So we're going to look for calls on this one at $15.01. Fubo, 2 down green. So again, on Fubo, we can look for calls at, what do we have here? $3.69. And I always tell you guys, and I know Adex Trade says the same thing as well, every candlestick, guys, every candlestick tells us a story. Okay? They all tell stories. And the quicker you are able to learn to read those stories, the better off you'll be. So this candle is a 2 down that finished green. And it's saying if we trigger the top of this wick where I've got this pink line, that I'm likely to hit this target here at 391. So that's where you should take profits. Okay, and it's really that simple. But you need to be able to understand that. And that's what these videos show you, and that's what this channel shows you. I have over 300 videos for you guys to learn this stuff. So make sure you're subscribed and hit subscribe down below, and then that bell beside it, click that bell. That'll send you notifications for when I send out videos like this one, like the learning tools, okay? Keurig Dr Pepper, inside bar. We can look for calls at 38.51, puts at 36.89. This is a shooter candle, so it's a body at the bottom with a big long wick to the top. That is an actionable signal to the downside. It's a bearish pattern. We also have the inside bar, which is an actionable signal. So we can look for puts at 36.89. Probable calls are still available there at 38.51 if we trigger to the upside, though. Netflix, Netflix 2 down green, so we can look for calls at 290.66. ORCL inside bar, we can look for calls at 78.47, puts at $75 even. Pfizer PFE has an inside bar, hammer candle. So again, hammer candle with the body at the top, wick at the bottom. It's an actionable signal, as are the inside bars. We are already 2 up on the month. That's what this blue line is. We are already trending up from this broadening formation here. Okay? And basically an inside bar is a pause in momentum. Okay? So we can look for this 212 continuation back to the upside, and we're going to look to hit, where is that other broadening formation? Way up there. At some point, we are going to hit that. I don't know where, but at some point we are going to trend back up to the top of that broadening formation. Inside bar, hammer candle, calls at 47.75. Here are the prices here. That's that top pink line is showing me 47.45. There's also a setup on the daily. Okay, if I was to go back to the daily play, that's this yellow line here. Okay, that's what that yellow line represents. That's the daily setups. If I go to the daily, there it is. 2 down, finish green, hammer candle. Hammer candle on the day, hammer candle on the week. If we trigger on the day, we hit first targets, well, that triggers the weekly. Okay? The day triggers the week. And we have already triggered the month to go 2 up. Okay? We're already 2 up on the month. So that is it's a good signal that this could possibly trend up on the weekly and on the daily. Okay, so Pinterest, 2 down, finish green. We can look for calls at $24.33 on Pinterest. Palantir, same thing. 2 down green. We'll look for calls on Pinterest at $8.42. SE, that's C Limited, 2 down green. We can call that a hammer. It's kind of an ugly hammer candle. We're going to look for a 2 down, 2 up Rev Strat. 122 reversal. Calls at $50.74 on C Limited. Now here's the thing on SE. If we trend to the upside, well, that's not going to work. If we have a continuation, we will be all red to the downside. Sorry, I misread that. SOFI, SOFI, 2 down green. Again, we're going to look for calls at $6 even. Where are we on the monthly chart? So we've tagged the bottom of this broadening formation. We are at the bottom of this other broadening formation here. The month and the year are both red. If we go to the month, we are 2 up on the month, but we have trended back to the downside. So what we're looking for is to tag the top of this broadening formation here. Okay? So we'll see how that plays out on the weekly if we have a turnaround and we continue to trend up on SOFI. Uber looks like we have an inside bar. It's actually a 3-1 setup. So again, I was talking about the Strat indicator. You can buy that separately, the Griswold Strat indicator. It's $25. It's a one-time fee. You get it for life. If there are any changes to the indicator, there's no charge. You just get them. Or you get them as part of the membership. So it's a $25 separate fee, or it's $50 per month for the membership. And this is included, as well as one-on-ones, top 5s, live trading bots that give you these inside bar setups in real time as you go. Okay, so 3-1 setups. They are a powerful setup. They don't happen very often. And again, here's one here. It trended down, but not all the way, so it wasn't great. But again, that's why I go back and show you guys this, that yes, probabilities tell us that it should work out. They don't always work out. Here's an outside bar, inside bar, inside bar. Outside bar followed by 2 inside bars. Here's another one, okay? Outside bar, inside bar, followed by an outside bar, okay? So we opened here, we trended down, and then came back up through. Let's go back. So off of this outside bar, inside bar setup, this 3-1 setup, we are essentially looking just off of this inside bar to break the highs or the lows of this wick as we open on Monday. Visa is not something I normally put on the day trades because of the spread between the bid and the ask. If we're looking at a weekly swing, again, we talked about the spreads on the bid and the ask. I'm okay with that because on the week, we can look for those limit orders. So we're going to look for a 1-2-2 rev strat, a inside bar followed by a 2 down, and then a 2 up is what we're looking for on our next candle. And just so you guys can get a visual of that, let's put that in. This is what we would be looking for, an open, and then we're looking for that to trend to the upside, similar to that, okay? So calls at 206.43 on Visa. CVS has a 2 up red, different from all the rest. 2 up red, we're going to look for this to trend to the downside. Puts at 95.05, there is our first target. And guys, if you like this stuff, if you think it helped you out, make sure you're subscribed down below. Give me a thumbs up. And watch at the end of this video. Top right corner, I'm going to show you what happens if we have gaps in trades. So make sure you check out that playlist. In the bottom right, there's just a bunch of learning tools for you guys. A learning tool playlist to help you guys out with the strat, to learn this strategy, to become more profitable, more consistent. So make sure you guys are checking that playlist out. Immerse yourself in this stuff, guys. Watch it, study it. Just put in the effort, put in the work, and you will become more profitable and more consistent. Thank you guys for watching. I wish you nothing but the best this week and next week. I hope you had a great weekend. I wish you guys green, and we will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.